Hi, welcome to Summit Global Education. Today we're going to be talking about how going global begins at home. We're going to walk you through a program, a quite innovative program that we're launching here today. You might have seen all of our notices on Facebook and across social media. We're very excited about this program. And I want to walk you through. It's about a half hour long, but I hope you bear with us because going global begins today. So going global begins at home. That's the IE challenge. We're going to explain to you a little bit about what this challenge is and how it works. Basically, the idea is that if you show us that you get it, and we'll fly you anywhere on the planet. This is going to be clear in just a moment. But a little background first. A little research that was released recently found that 50% of students who are entering university said that they had the intention of studying abroad once they got into university. But a really strange thing happens once they get into university. At 50% that said that they wanted to go abroad, then only 8% or less actually do study abroad. And we heard this story a lot of times at international education conferences, and the big push trying to get more students to study abroad is something that kind of rang home with us, and we thought we might have part of the solution. And part of the solution might be this, what we call the International Education Challenge. And the big question is, kind of taking a step back again, is why do students that say they want, 50% say they want to go abroad, and only 8% or less actually do? And research says, there's a lot of different reasons. Perhaps they don't see the value of studying abroad, no matter how much we tell them about the career advantages or the ability to expand your vision around the world. Perhaps students don't see the value of studying abroad, but I think it's more than that. I think students do get it because that's the 50% that say they do want to study abroad before they go. There's a lot of reasons. Perhaps students maybe think it's not for them. There is that on campus. There's a big percentage of students that think study abroad isn't really for me. Another big factor could be that you think, if I go abroad, maybe for a semester or a year, I might miss out on clubs or sports or activities or classes back home. A big factor probably is they can't afford it. We're going to address that through our international challenge, but I think that's one of the big reasons why students decide not to go abroad. A lot of other reasons, maybe they're afraid of things that are different, of cultures that are different, or getting out of their comfort zone. There's some students I've even heard saying that, the U.S. or whatever your university is that has a reputation for being one of the best in the world, but maybe the ones abroad aren't as good. I don't know. That seems to be one of the reasons that come up. Others think, it would be great, it would be awesome, I would love to go abroad, but it's too hard, and I just don't think I'm going to make it. There are a lot of reasons why not to go study abroad. And a lot of them are being discussed here today during this program and other speeches. You may hear discussions about financing options or how to address choosing the right program. There's a lot of other talks about how to get more students on the trip to study abroad. But what Summit Global Education would like to do, we'd like to try to address this problem by looking at the financial aspect, but also addressing the other parts involving getting out of your comfort zone. And we believe that that's getting global, beginning at home. But part of what we're going to launch today and what we're excited about is a chance for students to win a round-trip airplane ticket on any study abroad program anywhere on the planet through any provider, not just through Summit Global Education. And all we want students to do is to realize that going global starts today. It starts today at home, before they go abroad. They go global at home before they go abroad. It's not just once they're abroad. That's the part that you see, but it's starting today is to go abroad. And if students win our International Education Challenge, we're going to take them wherever they want to go for this summer. This is a program we're launching for this summer. We're going to go back and tell you a bit more about that, but I also want to take a quick moment and introduce who we are and what our background is. I realize we didn't explain in the beginning who is Summit Global Education, so if you don't mind, I'll take a quick moment just tell you who is Summit Global Education and what do we do. First, what we believe, and we're crazy about cultural immersion. We talk about doing that through study abroad. It's one of those chances to get outside of your comfort zone and experience the world and exchange ideas and values with other students. We believe in traveling more, seeing more, experiencing more. You'll see that's a theory that comes back, in everything that we do, and I'll get back to that in 1 second. We specialize in multi-country traveling programs. If you notice, all of our programs have a traveling component. Again, we're trying to get the students out of their comfort zone. Even while they're abroad, we keep them moving. We have a 7-week program. It involves Barcelona, Paris, London, Berlin, Prague, Vienna, Budapest. And it's over 7 weeks over the summer. But that's our programs. More importantly is how do we design our programs? And I think all international educators should take 3 principles into designing any study abroad program, no matter what study abroad program it is. I think every one of them should have 3 principles built into them. And these are 3 principles that's going to tie into our challenge. So if you're here just to hear about the free airfare program, pay attention here as well, because this is going to tie into how we do this challenge as well. Our 3 principles are celebrating cultural differences. I'm going to read through them quickly, and then I'll dive into them in just a second. Celebrating cultural differences, challenging students to get outside of their comfort zones, and encouraging students to, quote, look for the best in others, other places, other cultures, other people. And if you'll notice, all of our programs and also this International Education Challenge is built around these 3 principles. Celebrating cultural differences is one of those things that you hear a lot of people say that we need to increase tolerance of other cultures. And that's been one of these catchphrases that's bothered me for years. I don't think we need to encourage people to tolerate other cultures. Tolerating other cultures seems to imply that somebody smells bad and you're going to tolerate it. You're not going to like it, but you can tolerate it. I think we got to get students beyond tolerating other cultures and get them celebrating cultural differences. Getting outside your comfort zone. Now, this is one of the key principles of any program. You have to get students, even if they're abroad, push them to be a little bit outside their comfort zone. If you're a student going abroad, just push yourself a little bit more. The third part is always looking for the best. And what I mean by the best is that a lot of students go abroad, and you hear this a lot. There's a complaint that the food isn't as good, or the buses aren't quite as timely, or the TV is not as good. And you find this negative attitude of looking for the worst, when you should be, no matter where you go, looking for what's the best in wherever you are. We'll come back to these 3 principles in just a second. But the idea is that you don't just have to study abroad to practice these 3 principles. You can practice them whenever and wherever. You can practice them at home, before you go abroad, or while you're abroad. Okay, enough about us, enough about our theories. Let's go back to the challenge, because I know that's what a lot of students and advisors are here to hear about. I want to state this starting today. Going Global starts today at home. We want to invite you to this challenge. And part of the challenge is that we want students to be more curious. Find your curiosity, follow your curiosity. Whatever you're curious about, be more curious. Try new foods. Be that going down to a restaurant that you never tried the food from, whether you've never had Indian food, go to that Indian restaurant. If you never had the Korean food, go to that Korean restaurant. Sit beside that foreign student in your class and talk with them. Learn about their culture, learn about their background. Don't try to teach them about, it's okay to teach them about your culture, but ask questions about theirs. Watch that foreign movie that you always wanted to watch, or maybe the one you never heard about. Research it a little bit, find one, look for it. Look for a foreign movie. And honestly, it doesn't matter how internationally minded you already are. Every student has international levels. Some are level 10 already. You can push yourself to level 11. If you think you're level 1, push yourself to level 2. There's no black belt level in international education. Seriously, no matter which level you are, you can always do a little bit more. You can do better. You can try a little bit more. You can be a little bit more bold. And you can get outside of your comfort zone. The idea is to enrich your life through global experiences, however you can. And then here's what we want you to do. We want you to show it to us. We want you to show this to us back. And if we like it, we want to reward you by helping you broaden your horizons. And our idea is that we'll give you the airfare to study abroad on any course of your choosing for this summer. That's 2015. Anywhere on the planet, on any program. It doesn't have to be with Summit Global Education Program. So the next question probably is, how do I participate? If you're interested in participating in this challenge to win the free airfare, how do you participate? And I'm going to walk through on the next slides on how to participate, some of the tips on how to win this thing, and also the dates and the judging, how that's going to work. Basically, what we want you to do is tell us, what are you doing now on campus to be more global? Are you trying new foods, making new friends, asking new questions, being more engaged, etc.? Kind of things that I just talked about. And what we want you to do, if you're a student, we want you to answer the following question. What do you think about our idea of that going global begins at home? So the concept that we have is that going global begins at home. What do you think about that? Is it possible? And how? And so the International Education Challenge, what we call the IE Challenge, we're going to ask you to show it to us, however you want, answering that question. You can make a video, you can write a paper, you can take a photograph, however you want to do it. In your text, your video, or your photo, show us how going global begins at home, how that might be possible, if it's possible, and how you think it might be possible. You upload your creations on Facebook or Instagram, or even Twitter. And you can make as many as you want. If you want to do once and you don't like it, or you want to do it 10 times, just keep going, keep putting them up. And tag each of your uploads with the IE Challenge, the IE Challenge. And the IE Challenge comes from the International Education Challenge. You see it's hashtag the IE Challenge. So what you do is you upload these on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram or on however you do, however you put it up with the hashtag VIE Challenge, and then navigate to our website. And the link is here, and after this presentation is over, you'll be able to find the slides with the link. Go to the link on our website, it is the International Education Challenge, and register your submission by entering your name, your email, and a brief link to your post online where we can find it. Submission dates start today, so February 25th, we're opening the challenge. The final day for the challenge is going to be April 12th. And if you have any questions, we're going to ask you to send us an email. And I see some questions are coming in. I'll answer the questions at the end of the presentation, but also we're encouraging you to send us an email. It's goingglobal@summitglobaleducation.com. Again, that's goingglobal@summitglobaleducation.com. And don't forget to follow Summit Global Education on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates. And we have the links here for where you can follow that. And the big question that students often ask us, though, is how do you win? We've talked about what you should put up, but now the rest of this presentation, I want to give you some tips on how I think, if you want to enter this challenge, some tips on how you can win the challenge. There's 2 rounds to the voting. The first round, the final 10 videos or photos or papers will make the final round. In the final round, the student's choice, we're going to post the final 10 on our Facebook page. And students will vote by liking the post. The one that gets the most votes will win. Once we post the top 10 finalists on our Facebook page, we'll do that in a random order on April 15th. The one that gets the most likes by midnight, April 30th, 2015, will be the winner. Now, if you're one of our finalists, we invite you to share your post, invite your friends, ask them to like your post, find creative ways to do that. The most votes win, so good luck. The winning submission will be given a free round-trip airfare to the next study abroad program of your choice, 2015. And there's rules and this kind of information on our website. There's a link at the bottom if you want to follow that. Or just navigate to our website, you can see the rules on how to participate. You can use any program, any provider. It doesn't have to be a Summit program. Now, one of the rules I just want to be clear about is that in order to win, you have to be enrolled in the study abroad program. You have to be a student, you have to be a legal resident of the United States, and you have to show us that you're enrolled in a study abroad program. So the airfare specifically is for study abroad programs for this summer. We might hold another challenge for next fall or the next winter, but this particular challenge is for the summer study abroad programs only. The key question I think a lot of students want to ask is, how will Summit decide which videos, pictures, or text will be in the top 10? The top 10 finalists will be selected by Summit Global Education based on the following criteria. Number one, the best answers. Now this will be our judgment. And we're going to give you some tips later on in the presentation on how we'll be judging that. But part of the criteria is that our judgment, the top 10, we'll put on our site. Number two is social reach. We want this to, it would be great if you had a great idea on how Going Global begins at home, but we want others to know about it too. I mean, the idea as we start off at the beginning of this presentation is to try to get more students studying abroad. Remember the thing I was talking about, 50% of the students that wanted to study abroad and only 8% that actually do? Well, part of the reason why we're doing this is to try to get that 8% number up to a higher percentage. In order to do that, we need your help. We need you to talk about how Going Global begins at home. And we need to share that with your friends, share that online. And so part of the criteria for judging is looking at which are the ones that have the best social reach. That's not the only criteria, but that's part of the three. And number three is answers, the answers that fit with, and this is where we talked about our 3 principles of international education. If your answers can fit with our ideas of what international education, the values of international education, the best answer would be the ones that fit with at least one of those 3. So does your post celebrate cultural differences? Or showing you getting out of your comfort zone, looking for the best in other places, people, and cultures? And the final way that we're going to look at is creativity. Are you finding new and fun ways to show how you can embrace the global culture? Now remember, in the first phase, it's up to you to share the story to reach the top likes and shares. And it's up to us to decide which stories are the best. Simple. So please go to our website, download the rules for the challenge. They're online now. We posted them just before the speech. Download the rules, and we'll be posting more information on our website through social media. Before we go on to the final part of this presentation, I'm going to look at some of the questions and see if I can answer some of the questions that are coming in. All right. I see some questions related to, do you have to be a U.S. citizen? Yes, you have to be a U.S. citizen, and yes, you also have to be in the summer program. All right, so I'm going to close the questions and I'll continue the presentation. If you have any other questions, log in. There's a question and answer box. And we should have some time at the end to go through some questions about how this international education challenge works. If you want to participate, want to know the rules, anything, I'm online for about another 12 minutes. So we'll continue the presentation here. Are you still a little bit confused? Well, here's going to be some tips on how to win. So we've gone kind of fast. What I'd like to do with the final part of this presentation is show you some tips on how you can make it into the finals. And here are some of our ideas. Basically, don't just show us what you intend to do someday. Going Global begin at home, you could just write a quick note about how you think that could be possible. But if you could show us how you are going global, not just some point in the future, but now. Show us how Going Global begins at home. Show us how it does work. How is it you can go global at home? Today, at your home, at your school, in your town, in your mind. Before going abroad is the best time to start going global. And that's the point of this presentation. Going Global begins today. Some more tips to help you with this program. Try including one or more of our principles of international education into your answer. Is there any cultural difference you would like to celebrate? How? Try to make it educational. There's a lot of ways you can celebrate cultural differences, but how is it that could tie into our principles of education? You can go any way you want. You can use creativity. You can use videos, text, photos. But in the end, what we're going to do is judge on, does it tie in with what the spirit of this contest is for? Are you showing some way that you're getting out of your comfort zone and doing something international? Again, like we said, if you just talk about going international, if you just talk about different cultures or different places, but you haven't left the sofa or left your comfort zone and actually crossed that barrier and made that friends with that foreign student or done something to get out of your comfort zone, then you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. The winner might be the one that doesn't show this, but if you do show that this is something you're doing at home and how it is possible to do this at home, this has a better chance of getting into our finals. Are you looking for the best in a foreign person or place or thing or culture? Again, tying into our principle of looking for the best. Are you celebrating not just the culture difference, but looking for what's good? Because any culture you look at or place, you'll find things that are amazing, that are great in places you never imagined. And if you are able to train your eyes, train yourself to look for those cultural differences, this is what our Global Education Challenge is all about. We want you to show us how you're going global. Why are you going global? Do it, and we'll fly you anywhere. And, in the end, study abroad should be the ticket to an open mind, not just the ticket to a different place that you want to travel. So the purpose of this, beyond just traveling abroad, is to learn and study abroad. But in order to do that, there's the financial barriers of studying abroad, and that's what the Summit Global Education Challenge is going to try to help students with. The challenge starts now. And if you're a study abroad advisor and you're with us here in the presentation, and if you want the students from your college or university to participate, give us a phone call, send us an email, and we'll be glad to talk with you as well. So with the final about 10 minutes of this presentation, if any more questions come in, I'll answer them. Otherwise, I'll take a quick moment to tell you a little bit more about Summit Global Education and about our programs, and then we'll wrap it up. So in case you do want to study abroad at Summit Global Education, we do have our own programs, as you know. We specialize in traveling multi-country programs in Europe and Latin America. We do Summit Global events, one event every summer and one event every winter. We did our last one in Brazil, and our next one coming up is in Europe. As kind of an idea, we're crazy about cultural immersion through study abroad. I mean, we kind of spirit of developing this this Global Education Challenge is to encourage students to do this at home. But if you come abroad with us, you'll find it's not meant to be a hard thing, but it is meant to be a fun thing to try to get you more engaged, more interactive with foreign cultures. We believe in traveling more, seeing more, experiencing more. Our programs are full from beginning to end of cultural experience, of getting out and interacting with businesses, local people, and experiencing everything that the country has to offer. As we said, we specialize in multi-country traveling study abroad programs. This is something that I know not everybody, a lot of groups offer this, but that's all that we offer. We are very specialized in the mobile part of studying abroad. Continuously looking for new ways to engage students to open up to new experiences. In 2015, we're offering a really innovative program. It's a 7 weeks program in 7 countries. We call it the Global Summit Europe, but actually there's 2 parts to it. We have the Global Summit Barcelona, where you spend 2.5 weeks in Barcelona. And then there's the Global Summit Prague, where it's 2 weeks in Prague. And you can connect the 2 of them, and so it's 2 shorter programs or 1 big longer one if you wanted to do that. In 7 weeks, we do 7 countries, and you can earn up to 6 credits by taking 2 courses. We travel with professors, facilitators, and students. We all travel together. We stay in the same hotels. We stay in apartments. We study together, visit companies together. It's a very, very interactive and fun way to spend the summer. We have excellent courses to choose from. And we can take courses. Our university partners in Europe are excellent. It's the AACSB accredited. It's the IQS School of Management in Barcelona. And it's the University of New York in Prague that's hosting our Global Summit Prague program this year. We do professional visits, cultural visits. Again, we don't believe in just running from a book. We get out and interact with local people from the countries that we go, and we get you deeply engaged with the places that you're visiting. We look for, anywhere we can, any way we can. The experience is everything we're about, whether it's our Brazil programs or our European programs. So we'd like to invite you to come to Europe with Summit Global Education this summer. Their website is summitglobaleducation.com. And we're hoping that we can show you what going global is all about. So again, our International Education Challenge is being launched today. You're going to find that on social media, whether it's in Facebook, Twitter, we're posting online in a lot of different ways. Go out there, film yourself, write your videos, make your videos, write your text, hashtag to VIE Challenge, upload, register your whatever you create onto our website. And hopefully you'll get a chance to win the free international round-trip airfare, and hopefully we'll see you in Europe. So thank you very much, and thanks for watching.